Hello viewers, this is again I am making one video which shows which will explain the action potential. This video belongs to the action potential, how the action potentials or how our nerve cell work, how our muscle cell work, and how the heart works. So all these works as there is action potential runs throughout their plasma membrane. There is a plasma membrane in neuron cell. There is plasma membrane in the muscle cell. So all the excitable cells, there is the action potential must be passes, and that action potential only do the excitation or do the movement and many helps in the body. So here we see that this is our nerve cell and this is the sensory nerve cell. This is what? This is the sensory nerve cell. In it joins into the spinal cord. Here is the spinal cord. This is the sensory neuron. And this is spinal cord. From this spinal cord, the message goes to the brain. This is spinal cord. The message brain to the message passes to the brain. So here we see that how these action potential, how the action potentials are generated. Normally the cells are all the cells are in resting membrane potential. In resting state they are polarized. Polarized means there is polar difference, is the minor plus and minus, right? Their plasma membrane is polarized, means there is potential difference between the plasma membrane from out of the plasma membrane and inside of the plasma membrane. So what is the action potential? So changes occurring in cell membrane of excitable cell. Excitable cell के प्लाज्मा मेम्ब्रेन में जो चेंज होता है, ठीक है, और ये चेंज लाइक पोलराइजेशन के बाद डिपोलराइजेशन हो जाता है, फिर डिपोलराइजेशन के बाद पोलराइजेशन होता है, फिर डिपोलराइजेशन होता है, और ये यदि पोलराइजेशन followed by depolarization runs in the plasma membrane of the excitable cell, which cause and which is the action potential. So again, what is the action potential? Action potential is the polarization, depolarization, again repolarization. The depolarization followed by repolarization runs throughout the plasma membrane of the excitable cell is called the action potential. Now here is no action potential. Today we will see how action potential is generated in the plasma membrane of this neuron cell. This is what? This we make neuron cell. But this action potential are all over neuron cells and whatever the excited cell in our body, like in the heart, the muscle and the neuron cell, action potential are generated. Here we see sorry, how these action potential are generated. First we see that at the plasma membrane of the neuron cell or the excitable cell, there are some carriers, some leaky channels, right? This picture and this diagram is of the sodium potassium pump. What is this? This is sodium potassium pump. What it do? It drain out 3 potassium out and 3 sodium out and 2 potassium ion in. 3 sodium out and 2 potassium in. This difference make inside the plasma membrane negative. This difference make negative. इसके कारण क्या हो जाता है कि प्लाज्मा मेम्ब्रेन के अंदर एक नेगेटिव पोलैरिटी डेवलप होती है. So outer side is the positive and inner side is the negative. Also there are some proteins, negative proteins, which make the inside of the plasma membrane negative, right? To maintain, here we see this cell is in the resting membrane potential. here is the resting moment, resting cell, and in resting cell it is polarized, means outside is the positive and inside is the negative. In resting case, this membrane, this plasma membrane is not permeable to sodium ion. So when sodium ion is not permeable, then the minus charge is developed inside the plasma membrane. And here again, this potassium ion, as these two potassium ions are here and more the potassium ion here, so the potassium ion tries to make equilibrium, and so there is the second one is the potassium leaky channel. इस पोटेशियम लीकी चैनल से ये पोटेशियम आयन जो है वो आउट होके इक्विलिब्रियम को बनाता है, और इस तरह से ये चलता रहता है, जिसके कारण क्या होता है, नॉर्मली ये देखा गया है क्या कि प्लाज्मा मेम्ब्रेन के अंदर और बाहर जब ये पोलराइज्ड स्टेट में होता है, जिसे हम बोलेंगे रेस्टिंग मेम्ब्रेन पोटेंशियल, और रेस्टिंग मेम्ब्रेन पोटेंशियल नियरली -90 मिलीवोल्ट टू -85 मिलीवोल्ट आता है. ये -90 मिलीवोल्ट पोटेशियम सोडियम पोटेशियम पंप के कारण, एंड -85 वोल्ट जब ये पोटेशियम आयन बाहर जाता है लीकी चैनल से, तो ये थोड़ा सा ये माइनस पोलैरिटी को कम करता है. बट नियरली बोथ आर इक्वल, both the thing are equal. Potassium equilibrium potential and the resting membrane potential both are equal in this case. Now मान लो ये इंसान है, इसके ये हाथ है, इस हाथ पे एक मच्छर बैठता है,